Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Andrew and welcome to DeVore Diesel. Right behind me is my 1997 7.3 Powerstroke with 250,000 miles on it. We picked this truck up about 2-3 weeks ago. It was sitting in a field for a little over a year. And basically over these last 2-3 weeks, I've taken it from non-running, crank no start, whatever you want to call it, to a running and driving, mostly reliable vehicle. I'm creating these videos to basically capture the build over time. It is kind of a rare trim package, or I shouldn't say trim package, but build package. It is a 4-door short bed, 2-wheel drive XLT. It is white on the outside with a blue strip and blue interior. Today, for the first video, we are going to go over everything I had to do to fix the truck and get it running, how much money it cost me, and at the end of the video, we're going to go over the little things that I want to do to get it to become a amazing, fun, enjoyable daily driver, and maybe even a little bit of a show truck over time. So let's get right into it with, first of all, a walk around. So the front end of the truck definitely needs some help. The bumper is sagging pretty good on the passenger side. The previous owner, did what we all do when we're young and dumb and broke, and he plasti dipped the grill and the headlight bezels. The grill's kind of holding on for dear life, but he also did a lot of things that are actually amazing for this truck. So I got lucky enough to get a full S&B OBS intake. The previous owner, or the owner before him, did go ahead and intercool it, which is a massive, massive upgrade on these old trucks. Everybody that knows about 7.3s knows that the Super Duties came with an intercooler already on them, a very large intercooler actually, where, this has a much smaller one, but it just helps with EGTs, it helps with reliability, and just over time, it's definitely an upgrade. But walking around the truck, we will get back to the engine, everything I had to do to it. It is a decently clean truck, especially for 250,000 miles. As you can see, more plasti dip. But, the only big dent on it is actually this door right here. There's a big old wrinkle dent that's actually decently hard to see. But other than that, it's a very clean truck. It was used to haul. It was used to haul around a welder a lot. They did go ahead and throw on a 3-inch down pipe to a 4-inch straight pipe all the way out to a 10-inch chrome pipe. The bed, somebody bed lined it, and went absolutely ham with the bed liner. There's about an inch of bed liner all the way through. We're probably gonna do something about that. There was actually already lights in the back of this truck, but not for this truck. It did come with a steering column. I'll show you why a little bit later. And then it came with all of this. So the previous owner started a resto job on the roof. The rust was really, really, really bad. I am going to, of course, continue it. I do have all the stuff to do it, and this is going to be my first Bondo and paint project on the roof there. But coming around to the back of the truck, as you can see, the tailgate's pretty clean. Most of these tailgates are pretty destroyed by the time that, the second, third, and fourth owners get to them. We do actually believe that this truck was at one point blue. Just judging by in all the areas that it's scratched and chipped off, it does have a blue undercoat. Both tanks do work. That's actually thanks to a friend of mine. He helped me to get both of them to work again. The front one wasn't working very well, and now they both work flawlessly. But as you can see, all of this is from the previous owner sanding, and that's paint overspray and everything else. The back does have baby seats in it. Just again, it is a family-owned car, but interior-wise, it's not horrible. It's not great. This is coming off. That's a pretty normal thing. This was actually broken. I did actually go ahead and already fix that, but this whole thing was just flopping around. The rear windows do not work, so that's one of the issues that we're trying to troubleshoot actually currently. Of course, it has the old OBS seats that are absolutely destroyed with some wonderful seat covers. But, you know, otherwise, this is broken. The dash is cracked, so we're going to do some fixing there. It did come with an aftermarket head unit that we're going to probably go ahead and replace. The windshield's cracked. It did come with these gauges on the A-pillar, one for oil temp and one for EGTs. Neither one of them work. But, you know, everything else works flawlessly. The switch does work. The headlights work. It did come already installed with a Hydra tuner, which is a very big thing in these trucks. Those Hydra tuners are, I mean, that's the difference between an amazing truck or an amazing running 7.3 and not. We're missing some logos. We're missing some paint here. I mean, the windshield's delaminating. It's a basket case for sure. But other than that, I mean, it runs great. It drives great. We'll go ahead and put in some, you know, some B-roll real quick of me cold starting the truck this morning. I mean, it runs great. It starts every single time. I haven't had issues yet, except for when we had that big cold front come through. So I'm guessing that I'm going to have to replace the glow plugs themselves, as the glow plug relay was replaced. To get into things that need to be, or that I already replaced to get the truck running, when we picked it up, we went and looked at it, we spun it over a bunch, and it just would not start. We tried over and over and over again, and it would not start. So there were a bunch of wires that were chewed through over here, next to the intake, which you're not going to be able to see very well, but you can kind of see some wire fixing right there. But one of the things we did find out that it did need was the lift pump. That is a very, very big issue in these trucks. Anybody that knows 7.3s knows that these trucks suck when it comes to the fuel pumps. The fuel pumps are all the way down here, and there you go. It sits underneath the turbo, and it sits kind of underneath the fuel bowl. I'm not having any big leaks through the fuel bowl, thank God. And of course, the fuel pump was just replaced. One of the things we also did was we went ahead and did a new pedestal and a turbo delete. And I'm going to have to fix that welding that I'm just seeing just now. But the pedestal, when we did get the truck finally started, the pedestal was gushing oil out of the back of it. I mean, it was probably leaking a quart every 2 minutes. It was horrible. And so we did have to go through and go ahead and do a pedestal and delete, just because it had a stupid air brake on it that he put on it, an exhaust brake, which they're okay, but I would rather just be deleted like it is now. The big issue that we did find that really sucked and I had to bite the bullet on was we did have to replace the IDM. When we got everything hooked up and everything running, the original IDM was basically just fried. We could not communicate with it. We couldn't do anything with it. So we did have to go ahead and go through and replace that, but it is replaced now. And thank God it works perfectly. Like I said, came with the SMB intake, came with this amazing front mount intercooler kit that is actually a Ford OE kit from way back in the day. You know, the next things we're gonna have to do to the engine bay itself is, like I was talking about, we're gonna have to do the glow plugs actually underneath the valve covers. We're gonna have to do the glow plug harnesses, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and do the swap. So if you notice, these glow plugs are held on with two, or the glow plug and injector harness is 2 plugs. A big thing that you can do is you can actually get the injector harnesses that you can swap it out to be the single plug in the center, like what comes on Super Duties. That is a big, big help on these trucks. It makes troubleshooting a lot easier. Another thing that we had to do for this truck, well, not had to do, but definitely a comfort thing, is we went ahead and replaced a good amount of the AC system. We wanted to make sure that everything was, you know, AC was good, brakes were good, and everything like that. Lucky for me, the previous owner did replace the brakes. And then, of course, we also had to do batteries on both sides. And the next, again, another thing that we gonna have to do is battery cables and a starter. But all in all, for $4,000, I don't think that we got a bad deal. Like I said, she runs, she drives, you know, no big issues. There's some cosmetic stuff that definitely needs attention, some stuff in the engine bay that's definitely going to need attention. But Transmission was rebuilt 30,000 miles ago. She shifts great. Shifter kit was installed. So, you know, a little bit rough for the wife, but definitely worth it in the long run. We're going to have to do a coolant flush and fill. We're going to oil change. I just did one, thank God. I mean, everything that's had to be done to get it running as soon as possible has been done, but everything else I'm going to document with you guys. The next big thing that I'm going to tackle is definitely actually going to be the paint on the roof. Like I said, I did already start going through and coming back and fixing all the high spots, and some other spots that I'm going to have to come back and Bondo, and I'm going to have to come back and fix. If you can see up there, there's actually a couple spots that I circled that are very low spots. But other than that, I mean, the truck's going to get a good detail here pretty soon. We're going to get, you know, we're going to get as much as humanly possible done for as cheap as possible. And that's really what this channel is going to be about. This channel is going to be about how to do all this on a budget. I'm 23 years old. I have a wife. I have kids. I have a full-time job. We do not have a lot of time or money to put towards this truck, but on a budget and with time constraints, I want to get this truck to look as good as possible, run as good as possible, and be reliable and be fun and be the daily that I've always wanted to build one of these to be. Now, if you guys did like this video so far, I understand I was kind of all over the place a little bit. I've been told that's kind of how this is going to start for a little while. I would appreciate it greatly if you guys would, you know, like, comment, maybe even share to a buddy that has one of these OBSs that needs a lot of help, because I understand we've all been there before. I'm there all the time. I have a very close friend of mine who is a 7.3 fanatic, guru, whatever you want to call him, that is absolutely phenomenal with these motors, with these transmissions, and with these trucks. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to build here. I'm trying to build a community of people that can get together and help each other learn and fix and discover different new ways to fix these on a budget, but reliably and correctly the first time. But like I said, if you guys do enjoy the video so far, I would really, really appreciate you guys just hitting that like button, maybe even hitting the subscribe button, letting me know what I can do better in the future and what you guys want to see. This is the start to what I hope to be a very good and very long build series of taking this 1997 7.3 and building it up to be an amazing, reliable daily / weekend driver. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.